Pyro Art for Beginners and the Wolf trilogy. We're coming towards the end of the Wolf now. We're now looking at the final shadings and darkening up of all the different areas we need to of the Wolf. Now it all looks a mess down here at the minute, but we're going to tidy all that up. So I'm using the micro skew myself because I want quite fine lines. This is all white hair all around here, or whitish. Of course we can't make it too light, otherwise you wouldn't show any drop off. So what I had been doing, I'd started, well, I've rubbed all the pencil lines out now, they've all gone. And we're just looking at things like shaping up the side of the mouth, you know, as the face line comes down to the snout and it goes down the side and off, around under the chin and down and out. So when we get to the under the chin point, that has to be darker. There's no way around it. Even if there's light hair there, there has to be darker shading to show that there is something sticking out. So we may have to go back to the other pen for this. I found a few pens that work for this sort of thing. We've got the micro skew, which is for the super fine hairs up the top. But then I found as well also this modified writing tip, like a pencil. It's very thin, just like a pencil lead end really. It's a modified writing tip by the Optima range. But it can be used for a lot more than writing. We have to have a clean break off from this side bit of the muzzle down to the chin. So there has to be like a darkening here to show that there's something free floating. These are all the bits now with like tidying up, getting all your final details in. Starting to look towards the end game with a lot lighter fur. But just making everything flow. So what I've been doing is using this modified writing tip, but I'm setting just under 3, so it's like a medium-ish, medium heat for this pen, but I'm moving it quickly because I don't want to put really dark lines down. If I moved it slowly, I'll be putting much darker shading down. as long as I keep it moving, I'm not letting the heat build up too much in that pen, and I can start to blend out down the neck. There are a few key areas that we're going to have to still work out, which is around here. As we've got the bottom lip, I've gone really dark there, which I shouldn't have done. That's too dark. But I've got to live with it now, it's there. So my wolf is going to have a little darker patch. Coming down from his chin there. Sometimes we have to adapt and modify. Sometimes if we make like an error like that, where I should have put a much lighter line in, I could have blended out just nice and smoothly, but because I've gone so dark, that sort of like set the tone for my breakaway off down the chin. Now I'm going to blend it out as best I can. I find getting sandpaper out causes a lot of mess. I know I could rub that line out quite easily if I'd just got a bent piece of sandpaper. But ideally I'm just going to shade up dark anyway and see what happens. See if it gives more of a drop off, you know, it gives more effect. After all, we don't have to stick to the letter of the picture. You know, this is your own creation, out of your own mind. No two wolves will be the same. There will be subtle differences between every single one. But this is the area you have to concentrate on first. Is you've got to get this muzzle popping out. Remember that saying, where there's less light it must go darker. If you're thinking about it out, if you're leaving a white line around the bottom fur of the mouth, then just below that, tucked up under the chin, there's no light at all, is there? You know, the shadow cast from the muzzle is going to dictate that there's a darker patch. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing on camera. So I'm pulling all the strokes still in the direction of the fur that I want it to travel in. Excuse me. But now it's all your really fine detailed work now. Whatever you've put down, like say here where I've gone, I could see a clump of fur rising up over this little bit here. Just try and see things in your mind's eye. Just try and see where you think, you know, there's opportunities to capture more detail. Sometimes you're forced to go darker by the actions you've done earlier. Like say here, I'd put a really dark line in where there was like a big dip in the fur. That's in there now. It has to go to its point in the middle, which really needs a micro skew, but it's just going to have to be a little bit darker area until it gets out further for me. So I'm not talking too much through this as I'm trying to visualize. You don't want to be doing any outlining, remember. We don't outline, we blend. So any dark line you've put down, you have to blend your way out of it. Even if it's only by a little touch, you still have to keep telling the story of how your fur is running. I often make the mistake, I look for spots. I mean, I haven't got the picture open at the minute. Let me open the picture up. When you looked on the picture, there were some real dark spots as the fur deepened and there was all long, shaggy fur coming over. This is where it gets to the point where it's tricky. What do? Do you go into super fine detail? Or do you just blend out? That's the question. And I've gone way too dark in them areas. Way too dark. There was the odd dark patch, but this patch actually was almost black under there for some reason. Maybe the muzzle doesn't actually sit out as far as what we would think. Because I'm looking up the picture at the moment, the reference picture, I've got it zoomed in, and I can see at the nose level that already the cheeks are blended in. All the hair is blended into the cheeks here, and there's just a little bit of grading up and fur coming off this way. I mean, I put these two whiskers in way too big. They need to be done with a skew. They need to be done with something much finer. But we just have to live and learn. That's it. I'd never wood burned a wolf before. I shall make the best of what I've got. Just see where it takes you. My best advice when you get to the white hair is, because there's so much matted hair, it would be impossible to show it as the picture is, because it is in such fine detail that, you know, it'd take a surgical touch to put all them hairs in place. Down here, I mean, you're not even going to see it really, because there's going to be a picture frame going probably along there, so you probably won't even see it. The mouth area was really weird. It had his normal front here, which went off very quickly to the mouth. It didn't seem like there wasn't much of a thick drop off. All this area it's dark fur, but this pen won't make it fine enough for I would just do what I'm doing is just whatever you've got now. At the end, it's all about just trying to blend out to, well, there are darker areas of the coat, but it's just got this one tuft around the mouth. There's a white area off here on the far side. That's going to need tidying up and a skew just running to put some fine feathering into the darkness, so you can just put a bit of something there. You find yourself skipping about a lot at this stage because you're searching for the shapes and the flow of the fur. You know it's much lighter than the really dark stuff, but I know up here I've got to go darker. Yeah, I've got to blend like from back here. You've got to make it like dark, blending lighter until it gets to the very lightest at the front, just so you can show that dip. But the fur, it travels off in a different direction if you think about it, because this is the flat of the head, so the fur would be travelling sideways at this point back towards the ear. I have my pen quite light at the minute because I've got a lot of little bits of tidying up to do, but let me work on it for a little while. I'll put it on time lapse and we shall see what I come up with, because there is still quite a bit of tidying up to do of Mr. Wolf, and that's all it's about now, is just tidying and blending. If you can find the odd story of like tufts of fur, then by all means add them in. But try and make them look as if they're all part of a flowing coat of fur, if you know what I mean. Like say here, I don't know why I put this dark spot. Oh, there was a tiny little indent there where this hair went off. But it was only ever so short. And there was one next door to it as well. So these are the little fine bits of work you have to do at the end when it's a white dog, because it is so much fur clumped everywhere. You can't possibly like copy the coat to the letter. It's just, you're just not going to be able to do it. Not unless you were willing to spend months, you know, it would take you so long. So this will be my last lesson of the wolf, and I will time lapse the rest of what I'm doing. But like I said, just when you get to lighter areas, turn your heat down and just gradually, slowly blend your way to the tone. You know, don't blast at it, just go at it lighter. Because don't forget, wolves as well can go from dark fur to light within the coat. But and all I want to do is try and add a little bit more mass here. Drop this down a little because it's a little bit too light. Sit it down some more. Push the furthest point of the head back, and there is some work to do coming out of the ear. I've left that because that's where white fur is coming out, so that's just going to be some light shading really coming out of there. It's off in the distance. At the edges, just as the fur looks, just do light flicks, you know, light little touches of fur when you come to the very edges. So when you're working your way right to the edge, it's all just light fur. But there has to be something like solid there, if you know what I mean. There has to be something of some mass. Anyway, fellow pyrographers, I hope you've enjoyed this challenge of the wolf. Good luck with the rest of it. you've done the hard work all by yourselves. You know, there hasn't been much guidance from me. All I've done really is just talk about little bits. You've done the work, and just finish off all your shading and just make your wolf look as good as you can, and that's all you can do. Okay, so take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next study group. And I'm looking at doing a bird of prey. I'm thinking of doing the American eagle, like in a full size one. That should be good in a large size. But like I said, I'll be a couple of more days messing about with the wolf and doing a few bits for the projects as well. Okay, so I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God